SEAL rookies asked her call sign as a joke. She replied with one word: Admiral. They meant it as a joke, a harmless one, at least that's what they told themselves. The training compound buzzed with noise, boots hitting concrete, rifles being checked, instructors barking orders that cut through the coastal air. For the SEAL rookies, this was day 19 of Bud's Phase 3 training. Sleep-deprived, bruised, ego already cracked. Then, she walked in. No dramatic entrance, no announcement. Just a woman in faded camis, sleeves rolled, posture relaxed, but precise. She carried herself like someone who didn't need to prove anything. A few rookies exchanged glances. She didn't look like what they expected. One of them smirked. Another leaned over and whispered something. Laughter followed. Quiet, contained, but obvious. When introductions began, the instructor pointed toward her. "This is your new evaluation officer. She'll be observing today's drills." Silence followed. Then one rookie raised his hand. "What's your call sign, ma'am?" A pause. The question hung in the air longer than it should have. Call signs weren't asked like that. Not casually, not by trainees, and definitely not with that tone. Some of the rookies were already grinning, waiting. She turned her head slowly toward him. Her expression didn't change. Admiral. One word. That was it. The grins faded. Someone snorted, thinking it was sarcasm. Another rookie shook his head, amused. The instructor didn't laugh. In fact, he stiffened. The woman let the silence stretch. She didn't explain, didn't clarify, didn't care whether they believed her or not. "Training begins now," she said calmly. They lined up. Push-ups, carries, obstacle runs, the kind of drills designed to break bodies and expose weakness. She watched everything: foot placement, breathing, hesitation. When someone slowed, her eyes were already there. Hours passed. The rookies started realizing something. She wasn't just observing, she was predicting. Every failure happened exactly where she had been looking seconds earlier. Every mistake, every stumble, anticipated. One rookie collapsed during a carry drill. She stepped forward instantly. Heat exhaustion. Hydrate him, now. The medic confirmed it moments later. Whispers began to spread. Who was she? During a short water break, the same rookie from earlier leaned toward another. "She's good, I'll give her that. But Admiral? Yeah, right." That's when a black SUV rolled through the compound gate. No sirens, no rush, just presence. The vehicle stopped near the command building. The instructor turned his head, and his entire posture changed. An actual admiral stepped out. White uniform, gold trim, stars on the shoulder. An actual admiral. Every SEAL rookie snapped to attention. The admiral didn't look at them. He looked past them, straight at her. And then he did something that made every SEAL rookie's stomach drop. He stopped, stood at attention, and saluted. "Permission to observe the exercise, ma'am," he said. The rookies stood frozen, because suddenly, that one-word reply didn't sound like a joke at all. The salute lingered in the air longer than anyone expected. The rookies stood rigid, eyes forward, brains scrambling to catch up with what they had just seen. An actual admiral, not visiting, not inspecting, but asking her for permission. She returned the salute with effortless precision. "Granted, sir." Only then did the admiral turn to the instructors. "Continue exactly as planned." And just like that, the black SUV faded into the background, but the shock it left behind remained etched on every face in formation. Training resumed, but everything had changed. The rookies no longer watched her with amusement. They watched her with uncertainty and a growing sense of unease. Every order she gave now carried weight. Every correction landed harder. During a live-fire movement drill, one rookie hesitated before advancing. She stopped him with a raised hand. "You're thinking about failing," she said calmly. "That hesitation would have gotten your teammate killed." The rookie swallowed hard and nodded. "How did you know?" he asked quietly. "I've buried people who made the same pause," she replied, already turning away. By midday, the whispers started again, this time not mocking but searching. "She's not a normal evaluator. She's command, maybe intelligence. No, that Admiral didn't outrank her." During a break, the instructor finally addressed it. "You will refer to her as ma'am, nothing else. Her background is not your concern." That answer only deepened the mystery. The truth was, she had once been exactly where they were standing. Years earlier, in the same brutal training pipeline, she had been the one underestimated, not because she lacked ability, but because she didn't fit the picture people expected. She had outperformed, outlasted, and outthought everyone around her. Then she disappeared. No press releases, no ceremony. Her file went dark. Classified assignments, joint operations, strategic command advisory roles so sensitive that even some admirals never saw the full picture. That was how she earned the call sign. Not through rank, through impact. Back on the range, she stopped the drill again. "Rookie," she said, locking eyes with the one who had joked earlier, "step forward." His heart pounded as he complied. "You asked for my call sign. Do you know why call signs exist?" "To identify us, ma'am?" "Wrong," she said. "They remind us of what we've survived and what we're capable of." She stepped closer. "You gave yourself permission to laugh because you thought I hadn't earned it." The rookie clenched his jaw. "Yes, ma'am." "Good," she said simply, "because today you'll learn something too." The rest of the afternoon was relentless. Longer runs, heavier carries, zero mercy. But something strange happened. Instead of breaking them, it sharpened them. By sunset, the rookies were exhausted, yet focused in a way they hadn't been before. As they formed up, she addressed them one last time. "Respect isn't demanded, it's recognized." She paused. "And sometimes it arrives in one word." Her eyes briefly met the rookies. Dismissed. They left in silence, and for the first time since Buds began, none of them felt like they were training to become SEALs. They felt like they were being chosen. The rookies thought the worst was over. They were wrong. Before dawn, alarms tore through the barracks, red lights flashed, boots hit the floor in chaos as instructors stormed in, barking orders that made no sense. "Gear up, 2 minutes." No explanation, no briefing. Outside, the air was cold and heavy with mist. The compound looked different at this hour. Quieter, sharper, like it was watching them back. She stood near the vehicles, already geared, waiting. One rookie whispered, "This wasn't on the schedule." "It is now," an instructor snapped. They were loaded into trucks and driven beyond the main training zone, deeper into restricted terrain. When they dismounted, there were no obstacles laid out, no timers, no observers with clipboards. Just her. "This is not a drill," she said calmly. "This is an evaluation." That word hit harder than any order. She divided them into small teams and handed each leader a sealed envelope. "You will open these when instructed." Her eyes scanned their faces. "You are not being tested on strength today. You are being tested on judgment." She gave the signal. The envelopes opened. Inside were mission fragments, incomplete intel, conflicting instructions, missing timelines. Confusion set in immediately. This doesn't line up. We're missing coordinates. There's no extraction plan. Exactly the point. One rookie raised his hand. "Ma'am, permission to request clarification?" She shook her head. Denied. The teams moved anyway, forced to decide with what little they had. Some rushed. Some froze.
One team argued until time bled away. She watched silently. When a team chose speed over security, she stopped them cold. "You just walked into an ambush," she said. "Casualties would be high." When another team waited too long, she didn't intervene at all. Only after the clock ran out did she speak. "You failed," she said simply. The words stung. Tempers flared. Frustration surfaced. "With respect, ma'am," one rookie said, voice tight, "this was impossible." She turned toward him. "Yes, that's the point." She gathered them together. In the real world, command fails, intel lies, time disappears, and someone still has to decide. Her voice hardened. Heroes don't wait for perfect conditions. Then she singled out the rookie who had mocked her call sign. "Step forward." He obeyed, bracing himself. "You laughed because you thought rank made authority, but authority comes from responsibility." She gestured toward the teams. "Every decision you avoided today would have landed on someone like me." The rookies listened differently now. This wasn't punishment. It was preparation. As the sun climbed higher, she gave one final order. "Reset. You'll run the scenario again." Groans rippled through the group. "This time," she added, "you lead each other. No ranks, no permission." The second run was different. They communicated, adjusted, took calculated risks. They still failed, but they failed together. She nodded once. "That," she said, "is progress." As they packed up, one rookie finally asked the question they'd all been holding back. "Ma'am, why Admiral?" She paused. Not long, just enough. "Because when things fall apart, someone has to think at that level." She turned and walked away, and the rookies realized something chilling. That call sign wasn't a joke. It was a warning.
By late afternoon, the rookies were exhausted. Bodies trembling, muscles burning, minds stretched to the limit. Yet there was a new energy in the air, a quiet determination they hadn't felt before. She stood at the edge of the training field, arms crossed, watching them like a hawk. Not judging, not mocking, watching. The same rookie who had joked earlier finally gathered the courage to approach her after the final drill. "Ma'am," he said quietly, "I understand now." She didn't smile. She didn't speak immediately, just studied him. Her eyes, sharp and steady, seemed to look straight into the part of him that was still untested, still unsure. "You were supposed to fail," she said finally. "Every hesitation, every mistake, I watched it. Not to punish you, but to prepare you." He swallowed hard. "I get it. Your call sign. It's not about rank. It's about responsibility." She nodded once. Exactly once. "Good. Remember this. Authority without understanding is meaningless. Leadership without courage is worthless. And respect," she said, her voice dropping slightly so only they could hear, "is earned through action, not laughter." Then, without another word, she turned and began walking back toward the compound. The rookies followed at a distance, silent, absorbing every step of her presence. When she reached the edge of the vehicle line, the black SUV that had arrived days ago waited. The same quiet power, the same presence that had frozen them in place during her first day. She paused. One last glance at the rookies. "Dismissed," she said. The words were simple, but in that moment they carried weight. Each rookie stood straighter, shoulders squared. Their laughter from weeks ago felt distant, almost shameful, replaced now with respect, focus, and awe. They knew they had been tested not just as soldiers, but as people. The SUV drove off, carrying her away, but the lesson remained. From that day on, the word Admiral wasn't a joke. It became a symbol, a reminder that true authority doesn't demand recognition, it inspires it. That courage isn't measured by strength alone, but by the willingness to act when everything else fails. And that one person, one word, one presence could change the course of an entire unit simply by being unyielding. The rookies returned to camp, exhausted but transformed. Silent at first, but inside their minds were alive with understanding. One of them muttered to another, almost under his breath, "She wasn't joking. She was the Admiral." And in that quiet acknowledgement, the real legacy of her call sign settled, deep, permanent, unshakable.